A very good morning, dear students. Here I am with another video lecture, and today we are going to discuss a writing skill. And the writing skill that we are going to discuss today is email. Now all of us know that things are quite modernized, and as technology progresses, so does mankind and its habit. So what we have started now, earlier as a means of communication, we were using the letters, but these days emails are the most common ways of communicating. They are not only used for official purposes, but also they are used for interacting with friends and family. So in order to write an email, the first thing which you need to create is an email ID. There are several browsers and options available where you can make an email ID of yours. For example, we have the Gmail, Yahoo, etc. So you can choose any of those and you can make a mail ID for yourself. After you create an email ID, you have the option of receiving the mails, sending the mails, and let's see how you're going to do it. So let's understand first of all what is an email. So as it says, email stands for electronic mail. It stands for electronic mail. It's the easiest and cheapest way of communication. Why am I calling it is the cheapest? Because you don't need a postmaster, you don't need an envelope, you don't need any sort of tickets to just send your mail wherever it is required. Moreover, earlier when we were using these modes, we had to wait for a few days, sometimes 1, 2 or even a week, depending upon the place where we are sending the letters. But this is the fastest means, because as soon as you type your mail and you choose the send option, immediately the mail is received by the person whom you have sent. So now there are two types of mails. First is formal and the second is informal. It is just like your letters and the way you write your formal and informal letters, but a slight difference is the presentation of how we get to visualize a mail. So once you have created an email ID of yourself and you click on the compose button, so this is the kind of a screen that is going to come in front of you. So in the first option, that is from, automatically your email ID will be pre-filled into that. You have to do nothing with this. For example, my ID might be seemasharma@gmail.com. So this would be already pre-written by the PC itself. Next is to. To means the person with whom you want to talk, and you have to mention the email address. Earlier when you were writing the letters, you had to mention the address of the place where the person was residing, right? But in emails you don't have to do that. What you have to do is, the other person to whom you are sending the mail has an email ID too, just like the one you have created for yourself. And similarly, he'll be sharing with you the email address, and the same email address you'll be writing out here. For example, if I am sending the mail to Manisha, I will write manisha.agarwal@yahoo.com. So this is what I am going to write to. Then you have the option of CC. What is the purpose of this? Out here, for example, when you want to send the mail to someone. For example, I want to send the mail to Manisha. Okay, Manisha is my friend and she is also my colleague. For example, the principal ma'am has asked me to convey something official to Manisha. So what am I going to do? I am going to mention from automatically has come. I will write Manisha's email ID. In CC, I will put the email ID of principal ma'am. So now what is going to happen? When I will send this email, even principal ma'am will get the same mail that I am sending to Manisha. And Manisha will also come to know that this mail I have received is in the knowledge of principal ma'am. And similarly, principal ma'am will know that yes, Seema has done her work and she has sent the information, she has shared the information with Manisha. Now say for example, I don't want Manisha to know that I have informed principal ma'am about sending the mail. So what am I going to do? But yes, of course, it is very important for me to let principal ma'am know that I have done the work assigned to me. So what am I going to do? I am going to mention the email ID of principal ma'am in BCC. This option is used when you don't want the person to whom you are sending the mail. This person will not come to know that you have also sent this mail to someone else. That time you use this option BCC. Understood how it is being used? So what am I going to do? I am going to write out here manisha.agarwal@yahoo.com, and I will do nothing with CC. I will put principal ma'am's email ID out here in BCC. So this is how I am going to send the mail. Now another benefit of sending the mails is that when you want to share an information with multiple people, so are you going to write the mail 100 times if you have to send it to 100 people? No. What you're going to do, you just need to have the email IDs or the email addresses of those 100 people, and you can keep it in the 2 column. So each one is going to receive that particular mail. Okay. And they will not come to know who else also this mail has been sent. They will come to know when they see 2, that means how many people have received the mail they can see. So what will happen? 100 students need the information, so 100 email IDs we can keep on entering, and the mail is going to accept those 100 also. So when we want to share the information with a lot of users, even then we use this option. So once again I'll repeat. From is your email ID, to is to the person you are sending the mail, CC is the person whom you want to inform that I have sent the mail. Next, BCC is if you want to inform someone that you have sent the mail, but you don't want the person to whom you have sent the mail to know about it. So you keep it in BCC. These options are generally used in official mails. Why? Say for example, I'll just take an example of a bank. Okay, in a bank there is a cashier. Okay, and cashier has to report to the manager, and the manager has to report to the cluster head or the cluster manager, we can say. Again, the cluster manager has to report to the regional manager. So you see a hierarchy of seniors, right? So now what is going to happen? Generally whatever we do, say suppose there is a problem a cashier is facing and he needs to take help of the manager, but the manager has somehow not been able to solve this problem. So is he just going to stay quiet? He plans that let me talk forward to my cluster manager. So what is he going to do? He is going to put a mail. Now what is he going to do? He will write to, he is sending this mail to whom? Cluster manager. So he will write the cluster manager. But officially it is not allowed, you break the hierarchy. It cannot be a direct conversation between the cashier and the cluster manager. In between we have the manager, right? So the manager has to be taken into loop. So what are we going to do? Out here in CC we will put the email ID of manager. So now what happens? The cluster manager knows that this mail is in the notice of the manager. The issue is known to the manager, and similarly the manager knows that the cashier has tried to interact with the super boss, that is the cluster manager. So this is how it goes in official mails. And generally when you are writing informal mails, like when you want to talk to your friend directly, just you will write the friend's email ID and you will write whatever content you have to mention and you will send the mail. Now what about the next things? After coming to know about these broadly classified heads, then what will be discussed? Subject. You have to mention about what you are writing the mail. For example, when you write this particular subject, it has to be short and crisp, and it should be such that the person who receives this email immediately comes to know that something is important or what exactly this mail is about. For example, generally people who receive so many mails in the day, they just see the subject of the mail and they decide whether to open the mail and read it or not. Okay, if it is of their concern, they will open the mail. If they think these are just unnecessary mails, they will not even open the mail. So your subject should be precise. Anyone who reads your subject should come to know what exactly you are writing about. For example, you are inviting your friend to a wedding invitation. So just you will write the subject wedding invitation. If you are writing about a complaint, okay, then you are supposed to mention complaint of shoes. Okay, suppose you have purchased a pair of shoes and you have some complaint you want to make to the company. So complaint of Reebok shoes, for example. So they will come to know that their product is having some problem. Anyone who reads the mail will come to know. Okay, this is the way you have to write the subject. After that you have salutation. Now just like in letters, you just don't straight away start with the content. You first say respected sir or madam, or you say dear friend, or you say dear aunt, or you say loving friend. So you generally use some kind of salutation. Same thing you have to do out here also. You will address respected sir or madam, or dear friend you will write. If you want to name the friend, okay, for example, dear Sumi, so you will just write the name. After that, what you're going to do? Body of email. In the body, what you're going to write is introduction. The starting lines you can start so that when anybody reads it, obviously your subject has helped to understand what your mail contains, but at the same time your introduction should be there. For example, you are making a complaint, you can straight away come to the topic that I had purchased a pair of Reebok shoes from so and so showroom on date this and this. I happened to find that the base of the shoe was torn. So whatever problem you had, you come to that. And then if you are writing the mail so that you can find some solution, it can be replaced or your money can be refunded. So that portion you will start discussing later. So this is the way how you will start. Similarly, if you are calling your friend on an wedding, for a wedding you are inviting, so you will write, you would be glad to know that my brother is going to get wedded on 16th of July. So I am feeling very glad to invite you on the occasion to Goa, since it is a destination wedding. And then whatever your plans are, whatever the details are, you can follow. So this is the way how you are going to write the content. Now after you have mentioned the details of whatever things you wanted to write, what you are going to do is you are going to end it. So there should be a proper conclusion. So you will say, I hope you will visit and you will enjoy and be a part of the wedding. Okay. For the formal one, I hope to get some cooperation from your side and find a solution to my problem. So this is the way you can conclude. And below that, what are you going to write? In an official mail, you can write regards and your name and maybe your phone number. And in an informal mail, you can simply just write your friend Satish or whatever your name is. So this is the way you can end it. So I am hoping that you people have come to know that the various options which are available in email writing, how to utilize them, what is to be written in the content. Now further more information I would love to share with you. There are certain other options which are available to you in your email writing. So what are those? When you have composed the mail, that means when you have written down the mail, suppose you don't want to send it immediately, or you are just in a hurry, you think you have written half the portion and you want to write the rest half later on. So what are you going to do? You are going to save your mail as a draft. There is an option where you can save the mail as a draft. If you want to send, you simply click on the send button immediately. If you want to share some details, for example, you want to share a picture of the wedding card, or maybe you want to share some data with your boss, so what are you going to do? There's an option of attachments. So you click on the attachments and then you retrieve your data wherever, in whichever folder you have saved it, and then you can use it for sending. Okay, so these are the options additionally that are provided to you once you are writing the mail. So I hope now my smart little kids will be able to compose a mail formal as well as informal. I shall be sharing with you a PDF which is going to contain a sample of formal as well as informal mail. So things will be further clear to you then, and of course we are going to discuss it in the classroom as well. So far I just wanted you to be aware of all the options that are available in the email writing, as well as what format is to be followed. So I hope I have been able to clear that for you. So all the best, and I hope you are going to write wonderful mails now. Okay, so you can try it for yourself from now onwards. God bless you all, dear students. Have a nice day.